Hello everyone, my name is Michael and I'm speaking to you from The Verse. Now if you're not sure what The Verse is, I invite you to go to my website at rewritingtheverse.com, and that's where you can find out all the information about The Verse, and all of my YouTube videos are on there along with some written updates. So go check that out, see if there's anything on there that you'd like to know more about. I am a past life regressionist and rewriter. And so what I'm able to do is I'm able to go to look at past lives, go in and rewrite to higher level outcomes if necessary. And so what you'll find on there are I'm able to offer services for people on an individual level and at a group level. So if you're interested at all in past life regressions, please go to the website and check that out. So this specific video is for the upcoming 1/24/2020 new moon. I'm sorry, new or full. It is a new moon. And whenever a big astrological date or portal comes up, at this point I've decided to ask my guides to show me any past life regression related specifically to twin flames and divine masculine and divine feminines to help us move more powerfully through this upcoming new moon energy. I have noticed over the last several months that this particular collective, the twin flames and the divine masculine and divine feminines, are really a key group to helping lift the vibration of this planet. We are going through an ascension process right now. And every time we approach one of these gateways, we have an opportunity to lift up. In fact, it's necessary to lift up, actually, to be able to get through these, because we're on an upward trend here. And if we stay at the same vibration, we're not going to make these portals. So I'm consciously doing these for the sake of getting us powerfully up and through these portals. And again, the twin flame seems to be a key component. So that's why I have specifically done a past life regression tonight. Today is January 20th, 2020, in preparation for the upcoming new moon. So I'm not going to go into the details about the past life and what happened in it. I will add the link to that video below in the description box, and you can go and watch the full-length version of it, which I highly recommend. I mean, these are not typical little life stories here that are coming through when I'm asking for these huge healings for the planet. These are big and they're unique. And once again, it was a very unique scenario between two twin flames and their struggle to come together and to create something amazing here. They had to do a lot of work independently and before they could create that. So I invite you to go check that out. I'm creating this smaller video for those that aren't interested in looking at the longer version to share what I got as the main takeaway, the main point that came through in this particular past life that we needed to understand that we're really focusing on right now. And this new moon is a part of this point that I'm going to share. So there were a couple of main things at the end that I feel that stood out. It definitely, in this past life, which was 1500 years ago, by the way, it actually occurred in Canada with I guess you'd call them a Native American group. So 1500 years later, we're here in similar energy actually to what was happening back then. This new moon is basically a replica of the vibration that was happening back then. So we're replaying the energy, and this time we're going to go through it with a much higher outcome. But basically, the main thing was that even back then, 1500 years ago, these two twin flames carried a lot of trauma from that lifetime. Even this wasn't based on their own past lives that also added trauma, so we have a lot of it, but based on their lifetimes there. One of them had a lot of physical, a lot of trauma in that way. The other one experienced trauma in a different way, but it was still traumatic, and it ultimately had to be healed, had to be worked through for them to be able to come together and really fully experience the twin flame connection. So what I've seen is twin flames can come together even in this lifetime, even if you're with your twin flame. By the way, we're all twin flames, whether we're with our person or not. We all are. That's my belief, my understanding. So everybody benefits from these past life rewrites, okay? But basically, even if you're with somebody, that does not mean that you're connected at the level that you could be. There's always something that can be cleared to help raise the vibration. So in this particular past life, it really showed a lot of trauma. And there's lots of different ways that that trauma can be worked through. Maybe it depends on if you're a starseed, what your lineage is. Maybe there's better ways or worse ways to heal things, depending on that. Whatever the case is, we are all carrying trauma. And it needed to be cleared. I mean, I can look at my own life and go, wow, 2019 was a really hard year. And I think this past life that I saw tonight kind of mirrors that maybe all of us were going through some sort of replay of some old traumas, old situations with our twin flames. And maybe now, because this past life regression came forward to be healed, maybe now we can finally heal those traumas to the point where we can vibrate up and high enough to actually come into union fully with our twin flames. At least that's what happened in the rewrite. But it took a lot of effort and a lot of courage from the people involved. It is not easy to look at old wounds, especially ones that you've buried on purpose because they're too scary, too whatever, to deal with. Well, we can't do that anymore. If you've tried, you probably realize that you've failed miserably at overcoming that by just ignoring it. Nope. We have to deal with things straight on at this point. So, for a lot of us, actually, this last year was about healing, even if it didn't feel like we were being healed. Even if it felt like we were actually being torn apart, and why is life doing this to us? Okay. Well, we were re-experiencing the traumas. We were. Fortunately, hopefully nobody had to die, or no, things that might have ended in really bad scenarios before. Hopefully nobody had to physically die, but maybe a relationship died. Maybe, fears were still there, keeping people from really being able to connect that needed to connect. Whatever the case. Apparently we're at the time now, with this new moon, with the opportunity to come back together again and make different choices. Because both twin flames involved, divine masculines and divine feminines involved, are vibrating high enough now where they can make a different choice. Or have multiple choices, but just have a choice now versus it was never going to happen before. It was never going to actually be able to really solidify as long as those old wounds were in the way. So whatever it takes, right now is the time to be letting go of that old stuff, healing. I think we are at a certain point of healing already. I don't think we're at the early stages. I think we're at the tail end of it. Thank goodness. It has been a hard year for many people. But only then. Only after really addressing these old wounds, healing them at the best of our ability, do we even have a chance now. And a much better chance after this rewrite that I just did. Because I did rewrite into place where that healing did occur. And it took time. In that lifetime, it took time. It did not just miraculously happen. There was a lot of work that had to be done, but they did it. They both did it. And that actually opened up all sorts of possibilities for them. So that seems to be the main thing that they wanted us to see today. We're at the end of our healing process. There may now actually, especially if you're in separation with somebody, may actually finally be an opportunity to come back together, at least meet each other again and have different possibilities now. Doesn't guarantee a certain outcome by any means, but there were some doors that could not be opened before, and now they can, if both people choose it. So get ready. This new moon packs a punch. This may really be the doorway to the twin flames taking a whole nother collective jump into our ascension process together. Until next time, peace and joy.